Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a new week of streams here on DSP Gaming. But it's also a new month, which means a new backdrop and exciting new stuff going on. In fact, this will be likely a crazy week of streaming for me. I'll explain why in just a moment. Plus, we've got tons of game news today. Phil's day off. A bunch of new updates and things that are going to take effect possibly soon. And more. So it is going to be a jam-packed show. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to a new edition of the Level 1 Podcast. Alrighty, so I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you had a great day yesterday while I was away. Today is Friday, the 2nd of August, 2024, and of course, I'm Darkside Phil. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. Now, wow, do we have a lot to talk about today? Alright, at this point, we have gone from it being like a super slow part of the year to like an insanely busy part of the year. Like, I have so much going on right now, kind of out of nowhere, honestly, that getting a little bit hard to manage and juggle. I'm actually, finding myself having it being a little bit daunting every day, keep track of the different projects and scheduling and everything that's happening around here, because there's a ton of stuff going on right now. Notably, as you guys know, my schedule is all over the place, for various different personal reasons behind the scenes. So I'm not here the usual 6 days a week I used to be. And so it's hard to keep track of what day it is and when I'm going to be here and when I'm not. I know. And this week is no exception. Wait till you hear this. It's going to be a crazy week coming up. Okay? But in addition to that, we've got all these upgrades. I mean, new webcam has now allowed me to do 60 frame streaming. And now look how good the backdrop looks. Like, I was setting it up last night. I was like, wow, like this looks way better than it used to. The color is popping, right? And I could put more on camera, and it actually looks better with this camera because of the definition. Nothing looks fuzzy or anything. It all looks really good. So, all this stuff happening. And then on top of that, we've got new projects starting up on my channels. For example, on DSP Throwback, we're about to start Grand Theft Auto Vice City in a day. And we'll talk about that today because of all the work that went into that. We've got new stuff coming up. I have updates on stuff going on this month. Notably, as you know, I'm going to be doing a react to a documentary very soon, and I have updates on when that's about to happen. I'm juggling other stuff. As you know, every new month I have to work on private patron videos, but this month it looks like I'll actually be squeezing them in much later, so it shouldn't affect the streams this week. There's just so much going on. And on top of that, we got gaming news going down, all this stuff happening, like, oh my goodness. So it's very hectic, okay? And I'm doing my best to kind of juggle everything and not get lost in the shuffle because there's so much going on around me, and it's getting difficult to keep track of everything. It really is, okay? What I'd like to do is open up the show with a couple of possible upgrades that are going to hit the stream soon. First off, as you know, as you can see, with the new webcam, the visuals of the show are much improved. It looks much better. It's much clearer quality camera work. It's 60 frames per second. The colors are much better, right? So I got not one, but two different offers over the last couple of days to help improve my streams even further now that we have some cool visuals going on. In one case, someone has offered to donate a new hat that they thought would be very timely and pertinent right now. And I'm not going to spoil, but I'm going to work with them to determine, what kind of hat it should be and to add that to the streams and stuff. So that's coming, but I don't want to jump the gun and warn you or tell you all about it and get spoiled on it, and it's not a cool surprise, okay? So one thing is coming, and it's probably going to be a new hat, all right? But the other thing, this is kind of neat. Someone contacted me and was like, so you're basically upgrading everything, right? Like, you've upgraded your capture quality. You upgraded your microphone quality. You've upgraded the visuals of your webcam. I mean, you're working piece by piece through everything. Have you ever thought about upgrading some of the stuff that's been sitting around for 10 years. And I was like, well, of course, PC will be switched eventually. And by the way, so for an update for that, there's no way I'm going to be able to do the PC migration this week as I had hoped, especially with the fact that we have an impending React event going on and everything. I'm going to put it on hold for now. And the good news is that my PC is not falling apart as badly as it appeared like it was going to. Yeah, a bunch of the fans died on it, but it's not really making much noise anymore. It's not having many issues. Like I keep testing the temperatures and everything on it. It's fine. It's running cool. The only issue I'm really having with this PC right now is that I get some corrupted videos on it every once in a while. And I do need to do something about that. But at this point, it's like, how am I going to do a PC migration and sacrifice several streams, if not a day or two of streaming, in the midst of me being so busy with so much going on right now, juggling multiple games, getting ready for a big React and everything, which I'm going to talk about in a bit, because guess what? Possibility something special might happen in the next week or two, all right? And I'm going to tell you all about that today. But anyway, with all that going on, I just don't foresee myself taking the time out now to do the PC migration. So it's still going to happen. It's just a matter of when. At this point, I don't think it's happening this month. I don't even know if in the next few months, as we get busier into the busy gaming season of the year, if it's even going to happen this year. You know, maybe I should hold off till very early next year, maybe late December, early January, when things are slow, and try to do it then, right? The good news is I'm ready to go. Like, there's really nothing holding me back besides time, all right? So we'll get to that. Now, in regards to, excuse me, in regards to what we were just talking about, someone contacted me and said, well, one of the things that's been outdated now for literally like years, and one of the things that I think holds you back on your streams is part of your setup. And I was like, well, what setup? The microphone, I feel, is great. 10 years, this thing's been working beautifully. And I mean, yeah, there's some changes recently. That's because I put filters and stuff on it. I don't think that's an issue, right? And I mean, everything else, we've changed the lighting. We've changed the camera. And they said, what about this big blotch of soundproofing foam that I have on my back wall? Basically, what they said is, you know, now that your camera's good, it's really standing out how kind of, you know, crappy that foam is, and that it really is messing with your setup. Look, it blends into the painting, right? You can't really see the paintings. They don't stand out because they're blending in with that background. My hair blends in. And actually, I've been told recently by my editors that they've been trying to take screen captures of my face now with this new camera because the camera quality is so good. What they wanted to do is they wanted to upgrade like emotes and have like thumbnails and stuff. And they can't do it because now my hair basically, it blends into the background. Okay. So what has been suggested is an upgrade to the soundproofing behind me, not to the rest of the room, because the soundproofing, I feel, has done well. You don't hear a big echo when I'm talking, right? You just don't. But the one behind me visually doesn't appeal. And in the last decade, they have made strides, huge improvements to the kind of soundproofing stuff that you can get. Yeah, you could still get these kind of squares, but you can get them in tons of colors now. That would actually stand out and be very different from, you know, how it would look behind me now. In addition, we have totally new ones. Like, I've seen these different shaped panels, like almost like a honeycomb that you can build together behind you. And you could get those in all kinds of colors and designs. And, you know, that would definitely change the backdrop. It would make the backdrop look a lot better, likely, behind me, you know, for the streams. And being that I do an hour to hour and a half podcast every day, I do a daily rap video. My face is on camera all day doing gameplay. Since I've now got the camera, that's a modern camera, it might make sense to get a better backdrop. So this has been offered to me, and I'm talking with someone about it. What we're going to do is research and see what is out there right now. Like, for example, I know that there's like name brand versus kind of more generic, and the name brand claims that they're better because it'll reduce the sound better or whatever, or has a special interlocking system and blah, blah, blah. But they're way more expensive. And then you could get more cheaper ones, but are the cheaper ones good? Or are they not really going to do much soundproofing? Or are they going to fall off the wall, right? You don't know. So I definitely need to do some research on this before I like jump into something, right? But, and again, I don't really think it's going to be an audio improvement. I think my microphone sounds great right now. You're not hearing echo or environmental noise anymore. I think it's more of keeping it how I have it now, but having a better backdrop rather than this giant block of blackness on the wall that kind of, you know, it's muting everything else. Like, imagine if it was, instead of that, it was like gray or blue or white, and you could see everything stand out in the background now against the back wall. That would be much better situation, right? So we're going to look into that, and I'll let you know, it's no rush to do it or anything, but that's kind of like the next improvement to the stream is likely going to be that. So maybe a new hat coming soon, and maybe possibly sometime this month, a whole new soundproofing backdrop behind me that will dramatically change the way that the streams look on camera. Okay? So, now Fed Roger, haha. See, what he just said is exactly what I thought at first, and then I had an epiphany. He says, just remove the foam. I doubt there'd be much difference. Ha ha ha. But Fed Roger, what you forget is that this foam has been on the wall for 10 years. So two things are going to happen. Thing number one, as I take that foam down, there's going to be damage to the wall. Like, you understand that, right? Like, there's actually going to be probably like holes. All the adhesive is not just going to come off. There's going to be issues. So there's going to be probably holes in the wall, paint coming off, and I'm not going to repaint the whole wall. You know what I mean? So that's number one. If I take it down, it ain't going to look good. Number two, there's 10 years of fading. Whatever paint's behind that foam is going to look brand new, and you're going to see a giant border around it of faded paint that's been out in the light. So I can't just remove it and leave it as is. It's going to look terrible. You'd literally see a line on the edge. Like right here, you'd see a line of lighter, a darker, lighter. And then you'd see a bunch of holes on the wall. So it would look terrible. Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like, if I was to get replacement panels that are like a different design, more visually appealing, better colors, it would definitely make the streams look better. So that's possibly coming. Again, this is someone contacted me and said they're interested in it and helping me with it. They would like to basically donate some panels, but to do research first. And like, yeah, it makes sense to do research first before you just jump into a big change like that, right? So I'm going to work on that. But I mean, take a look at the new backdrop and how different this looks with the new camera, right? This camera, I think the angle's a little wider than my older camera because look how much I fit into the shot, right? I've got the entire picture here. I got this one. I had extra room. So, oh, now wait a minute. Did you just see that? I think I accidentally turned the AI focus on. I turned the AI. Are you kidding? That's insanely creepy. No way. Hold on a second. No, that's nuts. Watch this. I want to go over here. Yo, that's insanity. The camera follows me. Oh, no. The camera. What if I have to take a dump? Does it follow me into the bathroom? Oh, no. Well, no one can say I won't be centered with this new camera now, right? The only bummer is now, as you'll see, it's going to center it based off of where I am. Actually, right now, I'm not centered. Wait a minute. It actually doesn't stay centered. Oh, I don't like that. It doesn't see that. It's not actually auto-centering, right? I mean, it kind of does eventually. See that? That's weird, but that's what this camera does. It follows you around. It has an AI in the software of the camera that follows you around the room as you move during a podcast. How crazy is that? So I don't know if I should leave it on or turn it off. What I'm more concerned about is like, if I'm going to go on a break, right? Want to test it? Let's test it right now. Okay? So let's say, all right, I want to go on a break. So we'll go over here and we'll go here. Where the hell did here we go. Okay? I'll say, okay, guys, I'm going to go on break. And I get up and I walk away. What happens? Let's find out. Look at that. So it panned all the way to the TV. Then I come back. And here's the problem. So now I just came back and the camera hasn't caught me. And that's all right. Yeah, see, that's no good. The camera is all screwed up now because it doesn't know that I'm here. Hold on. Maybe if I put my face to it, this is going to be too much of a pain. Look at that. Look how I have to do it. So I have to put my face on the camera and then it auto rotates back to where I am. I mean, I'm not going to be honest, that's pretty darn neat. But at the same time, that's like, do you really want the camera following you around the entire room? You know what I mean? I just have to think about it. I don't know. I could see advantages and disadvantages to that, right? Like right now, it's not centered. Look. See? If the camera's not centered, I have to manually get it to center by like juking the camera like I'm a football player or something, right? I know it's odd seeing the rest of the room, is it not? I mean, this is a first time thing. You think it's distracting? You think I should just leave it off? I could. It's not anything I'm really going to take advantage of now, but knowing that the camera has that feature is neat, and that means that I can use it for other things. Like, for example, we've talked about in the future experimenting with different kinds of streams. So maybe, yeah, look, it just did it now, and I'm not even, like, really moving. What the heck? Oh, stop it. It's like a cameraman with a shaky hand, and he won't stay still. Dang you, AI. Dang you. That's pretty silly. By the way, when it does stuff, too, like, there's a light on this camera. Yeah. So there's a light on the camera. And when it does certain things, it blinks different colors. So, like, right now it's blinking, it blue. I think it was autofocusing. Yeah. Like, I like the autofocus feature. I think that's good. But see the it's off again. Now I'm not centered again. So how do I get it? How do I get it to, no, see, how do I get it to center? This way? And then just sit up like that. Yeah, see, now I'm kind of centered. Yeah, I don't think I like that. It's wild, though, to have a AI, right? All right, let me see if I can turn it off. It's doing it again. Let me see if I can turn off the AI stuff. I think I can, but hold on. I got to go over to my... See what I mean? Like, I lean over here, and now it's going to show there. It's like, what the hell? All right, I'm going to go to my PC and try to disable the AI stuff. Hold on. Oh, my God. That is distracting. Only like, there we go. It stopped. Fine. All right. So, the good news is I turned it off. The bad news is now I have to get the camera to manually adjust back to how it's working. That was wild. So you know why that happened? I had to restart my PC. I forget what it was. Something happened that I had to restart my PC, and when I did, it basically just erased all the settings. So I have to be sure every time I restart my PC to make sure the auto everything is off. Okay. So now I know, now you can see my legs and feet. Isn't that delightful? So now I have to get this camera back to where it's supposed to be. Give me a second here. Okay. So, tilt first. We go up. You see my hallway. Look at that. You can actually see that's where I hang the pictures in the hallway. They hang on the walls when they're not on my stream. And I just swapped my art around, so I have the punch out now in the hallway. All right, now let's get this. Oh, that's my TV. Oh. I love it. Technology is wild, man. Just got to take advantage of it in the proper way. You can't have technology take control of you, right? Like, there's my ceiling. So by the way, so as you can see, I have 16 panels of soundproofing behind me, and they're each a square foot. What I would do, let's say I were to get, like, the hexagons, I would basically try to get enough to cover maybe the bottom 2 rows, maybe one more. I don't need the full square. those top 8 panels have literally never shown up on camera ever. The camera doesn't go that high. So I can make do, excuse me, with less behind me. For sure. Okay, let's get this centered now. I think that's correct. Or like right there is perfect. And let's do... Probably right there. Okay. Fly. Okay, good. We're back. We're back. Is that good? Looks pretty good, right? Yeah, I'm pretty centered. Cool. Wow, I just noticed how crazy this shirt looks on the camera. Whoa, look at the detail. You can see all the designs on the shirt now, right? That's pretty wild how crazy, how HD the shirt is with this camera now. That was nuts, huh? I was like moving around, the camera was moving around. I was like, what the heck? So we got to see the technology firsthand for the first time ever, right? I've never seen that. Gestures like this next to your face activate auto tracking. Doing an L and moving up and down with your fingers next to your face zooms in and out, and you can disable gestures in the software. I just did Overpowered Boom because I saw it. And you're right. So I guess if you do this, it tells the camera start doing it, and then you could start like going like this, and you do gestures, and actually the camera goes crazy. Like you said, you go like that, and it'll actually zoom in and out, which is nuts. Maybe eventually I will use all the features, but right now I think the basic use is pretty good, right? Anyway, what was I doing? I'm so distracted. What was I talking about? Oh, so we may have new soundproofing paneling behind me very soon. Okay, that's what we were talking about. And then the camera started going crazy. All right. So, possibility of a new hat and new soundproofing that will look better visually on camera coming soon. What else is going on? Well, before we get to the schedule here on this channel, and before we get to other things going on this channel, what I would like to do is talk about DSP Throwback, where there is a lot going on. And so here's the deal. LA Noire has concluded. All right, it has concluded. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed the playthrough. I loved it. I loved watching back every single piece of it. It was so good. I was so happy to actually be able to experience that playthrough again. The original, this time without having audio issues or whatever. It was very special. So if you haven't seen it yet, it is fully live over on my DSP Throwback channel with the upgraded visuals and improvements and things. Great ending. I was like, wow, really good game, really good ending. I was shocked at how it ended because I didn't even remember that. So that's done. And the final part of Dante's Inferno, I believe, just went live this morning. So 2 playthroughs have just completed on DSP Throwback. So that means starting tomorrow, it will be Grand Theft Auto Vice City beginning on DSP Throwback. But of course, because I decided to select the classic that I had so many issues with over the years with copyright on YouTube, I immediately have had a bunch of problems with it. So we're going to talk about that at first because I want you guys to know what to expect with this playthrough, okay? However, please bear with me as I battle with my laptop. My stupid laptop wants to update again. I don't want to do it right now. I got enough stuff updating right now. Good. I could pause it for another month. Oh, good. I could pause updates till September. Yes, please. Leave me alone. I don't want any updates. There. Bother me in 2 months. Dumb laptop. Okay. So, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. One of my greatest playthroughs of all time, undoubtedly. Vice City is just a special game. Takes place in the 1980s where I was growing up, so the music and the vibes are, you know, really awesome from that time, and I love it. When I played Vice City, I'd come off just playing GTA 3, and to see the massive improvements between the 2 games was huge. Having Ray Liotta playing Tommy Vercetti and all the great voice acting in the game, amazing, right? Some really great missions, but also some very frustrating things that make it such an epic playthrough for the time of 2012. Keep in mind, it was the first time that I'd really played the game. outside of just a few minutes and missions of playing it on PC like in the mid-2000s, this is the first time I gave it a go and really, you know, wanted to beat it. And this was the original PS2 version, played on a widescreen TV, so it lags, and I have all these issues trying to beat certain missions because of this lag. So, yeah, it's one of my favorite playthroughs of all time. It's one of my highest viewed playthroughs and highest rated playthroughs of all time. To this day, people say they like to go back to the original trilogy of GTA games from DSPGaming here in 2012 and watch them. The problem is, originally, when I played these in 2012, if you didn't have issue with licensed music, they let you use it in videos like these games. But then in 2013, basically YouTube had been sued by the music companies, and the music companies basically said YouTube wasn't doing anything to prevent people from distributing their music without paying for it. So YouTube had to have a new thing in place, and that's when they started their Content ID system. When they turned the switch on the Content ID system, it destroyed my original GTA playthroughs. There's entire chunks of the playthroughs that are either completely muted, you can't hear them at all, completely missing because they're blocked worldwide, or a hybrid in there. So imagine trying to watch a classic playthrough and it's gone. Imagine trying to watch a show you used to like. Oh, I'm watching Dexter. Oh, but for some reason, 4 episodes are missing out of season 3. Can't ever see them ever again. What? Yeah, that's how it is. Like, there's missing chunks. And people are upset. And I understand why, you know? So, when I decided, all right, to restore classic playthroughs from the past on DSP Throwback and make them more modern, it absolutely makes sense that this should be one of the ones. Get the entire playthrough up without missing parts, without muted parts, 30-minute long segments or longer, updated visuals to be HD, 60 frames per second, right? Playlist, titles, thumbnails, everything, the whole 9 yards. That it didn't have any of that in 2012. So what a massive improvement to be able to watch the playthrough and enjoy it in a new modern setting. And I'll be honest, this game is like a party. It is like watching Grand Theft Auto Vice City. It's like a party. It's like, dude, the vibes are awesome. I'm having a great time playing it. I'm laughing. I'm swearing. We're having a good time blowing stuff up, driving horribly. Who cares? No one cared back in 2012 about the quality. It was about having fun. And that's really what this playthrough is. So I seriously cannot wait for you guys to start seeing this improved version. But immediately I start having problems. Now, as I told you, I had a feeling for sure that once we started with the project, we were going to run into issues, whether it was copyright, whether it was ad suitability. And I told you, please be respectful and a little patient. It's going to take a while to get parts of GTA on the internet. I was dead on correct. We've had part 1 of GTA Vice City ready for almost 3 days. But just listen to the problems that we've run into, okay? First upload gets hit with copyright, okay? Blocked worldwide. Can't watch it. All right, so YouTube has new AI music removal tools. They're advertising them. Everyone's talking about them. Oh, it's revolutionary. They're using AI. You can put any video you want on YouTube and remove the music, okay? So I immediately go to do this on part 1 of Grand Theft Auto Vice City. First song, Hall & Oates, Out of Touch, Out of Time, whatever the hell it's called. I can't remember the name of the song. I think it's Out of Touch. Oh, sorry, cannot remove that song. Wait, why? Because it's not a song, it's a composition. It's a composition? You mean it's a song? It means the same fucking thing. YouTube somehow has a different category for a song in a composition. If it's somehow categorized as a composition, the AI tool will not remove it from a video. The fuck are you talking about? What kind of an arbitrary difference is that? Like, what are you speaking of? It doesn't even make sense. So, cannot remove the song. Great. Well, there's another claim on the video, too. Let me go check that one out. And that one was, I'm trying to remember what it was, because it was 2 songs. Oh, I took screenshots in my phone so that I could actually address this. Let's see here. It was Broken Wings by Mr. Mister. Yeah, Broken Wings by Mr. Mister. This one, get this. I go to erase it. Oh, sorry. This feature's not available because the number of segments would exceed the technical limit of the AI. Do you want to know how long the song played for? 1 minute and 10 seconds. 1 minute and... Your AI removal tool cannot remove a song longer than 1 minute and 10 seconds. Do you know of any songs that are shorter than a minute? What the fuck is the point of the removal tool? It doesn't work at all. It literally has no benefit to anyone who uploads to YouTube. So YouTube launched a new tool, advertised it, touted it, told everyone it was the bee's knees, everyone go use it, and now that you go to use it, it's a piece of shit. It's literally a waste of time. It doesn't do anything. It will literally never work. Nothing's going to be shorter than a minute, and then half the time it's going to tell me it's a composition, not a song. Doesn't work. So immediately epic fail. Like, wow, well, you know, we thought, when I say we, it's me and my editors. We thought that doing it using this AI removal tool would just make everyone's work easier. Because here's the truth. We could still do it. It's just a lot more work. We did this for the Fallout 3 playthrough because I had the radio on in the background a lot of the time. And all those old-timey songs, sadly, they get claimed and blocked on YouTube. So because of that, we had to edit the audio of Fallout 3. And admittedly, a lot of the audio kind of sounded very crappy in the sewers when I'm playing the music and everything. There's nothing you can really do about it because that was the only way to have it play without having muting and missing parts. So we can do it. We can still have this playthrough work. Sadly, it's just going to have some wonky audio in some parts, okay? So, all right, immediately the AI removal tool is a piece of junk. So now we got to do the whole thing over again. So now the video, we delete it. We go bring it back to the editors. They're working on it again. They're trying to get the music out and everything. So finally, they ran it. They said, okay, we did it. It's the same kind of filtering we did with Fallout 3. Let's see. And I watched the video back last night, and I was like, you know what? It's not that bad. You could still hear some of the music. You could still hear some of Billie Jean by Michael Jackson, but not all of it. And it's just enough that YouTube will not recognize it with its current Content ID AI bullshit. It doesn't flag the video. So there's some music is completely missing. Like Broken Wings, I don't even think plays in the video anymore. Like it's just kind of muted when it's playing, which is fine. And then there's a few other songs in there that are good. It actually played You Got Another Thing Coming by Judas Priest. And that one you can actually hear. And I was like, and it didn't have an issue with that? Good. Hey, whatever. So the thing is, the way that we're doing it, it looks like there will be some music in the video available. Okay? And that's good. You will hear some music in the playthrough, but you won't hear all of it. There will definitely be some music that's just muted and there's nothing we can do about it. Some of the audio is going to sound kind of wonky and it's not fixable. You know, it has to sound like that for this video to be playable on YouTube. Okay, so part 1 is going to be 30 minutes long. It's the whole intro. Now, also, my editors are going to put in HD cutscenes from the better editions of the game that came out much later. So the cutscenes are going to have my commentary on them, but it's going to be HD from the upgraded versions, and then it goes back to my raw gameplay. But even then, my raw gameplay looks so different. The colors are vibrant and popping now, like neon, like from the 80s. It looks so good compared to the original because the original was just a camera playing at the TV. It legit looks much better, okay? I think you're gonna, if you enjoyed the original playthrough, I think you're really gonna like this version. If you didn't see the original, you've got to check this version out. This playthrough is epic. There's so many funny moments and things that are gonna happen in this playthrough that I can't wait to rewatch myself for the first time. So it's gonna be very special, okay? And, oh, so one more thing. So my editors do all this work. They remove all the music and everything, all right? We upload it. Everything seems good. So I said, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to test this because I know what happens with YouTube. They try to be basically elusive assholes. When you upload a video to YouTube, it'll say everything's fine. And then if you make it go live, then they'll have a second wave of AI run on it. And then all of a sudden they'll flag it for something else. And I had an inkling with GTA this was going to happen. So I said, you know what? I'm not just going to trust YouTube to do the right thing because they never do. I'm going to change some data on the video. That's going to trigger YouTube's AI to do a round of review, and let's see what happens. So I just changed it to test title to see if AI runs, and within 5 minutes, YouTube flagged it for ad unsuitability. 5 fucking minutes. And I knew it. I said, that's bullshit. I know this video is suitable for ads. It's just that YouTube has a tendency, when it finds a channel that has some videos that it thinks is unsuitable for ads, it'll just start flagging every channel on, every video on your channel until you have enough that are ad suitable, and then it will stop doing it. I know that sounds dumb because that's like an idiot wrote the AI, because an idiot did write the AI. The people who work for fucking Google aren't smart. They're just a bunch of fucking silver spoon in their mouth motherfuckers who think that they're smart because they went to an Ivy League school. In reality, it's just all arbitrary. They're dumbasses, just like everybody else, and their AI sucks. Their coding is terrible. So, yes, because a few videos from the Dante's Inferno playthrough had nudity, now flag every video on my channel moving forward as ad unsuitable because you're a bunch of fucking lazy bums. Gotcha. So, when it flagged it as ad unsuitable, I said, good thing I didn't publish the video, because then all the work of the editors and everything would have went for nothing. So, I then submitted it for review, and guess what? Manual review, ad approved. So now, finally, I'm not kidding, it was like 3 days of work to get part 1 of Vice City to go live on YouTube. So finally, part 1 of Grand Theft Auto Vice City will be going live tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time on DSP Throwback, okay? Please, check it out. I'm asking you for a favor. If you're someone who hangs out here and watches my stuff, please go check out the video with the amount of work that went into it. If I could get 300 views on the video, I'd be happy, because the videos over there don't get a lot of views. They get between like 100 to 200 views. If you get 300 views on part 1 of the playthrough, would be amazing. Plus, by the way, this is one of my best playthroughs of all time. I really think if you've never seen it, you're going to love it. Or if you've seen it previously, you're going to love watching it again. So, please consider giving it a look tomorrow morning. All right? And I will remind you all again tomorrow morning as it goes live. Okay? But actually, what I need to do today, see, another thing, I'm losing track. I need to set up the playlist for it, because I didn't make a playlist for it yet. So I don't have it actually set up, I think, to go live yet. I need a playlist to put it in. So I need to do that right now. Okay, so no lie, I just ran to my PC. I scheduled that video to go live tomorrow morning. So Vice City starts tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific time on DSP Throwback. I made a playlist. I added to the playlist. And at the same time I was doing all that, my editors had uploaded part 2 of the playthrough, which looks like it is okay, no music issue, but again, they flagged it for ad unsuitability for no reason. So again, I've submitted it for manual review. So if all goes right with that, that'll be cleared within a day or two, and that one can go live on Monday. So there you go. Now, we do have something else going on, okay? On tomorrow, I think it's going to be tomorrow. I'm not 100%, but I think what we're going to do next, all right, I am going to be, why is my wardrobe concerning? Stop that right now. My wardrobe is great. Love this. This is the Vice City wardrobe, all right? So stop that right now. Anyway, also starting up, because today Dante's Inferno finished. So we finished L.A. Noire, we finished Dante's Inferno. At exactly the same time, we're going to be beginning my Red Dead Redemption 1 online free roam gameplay. This was many hours, probably 4 or 5 hours of gameplay that I did with my friend John Rambo and a few others online. We formed a posse, basically. And we rode around the open world looking for areas to do funny stunts and things. And this eventually became the raw footage that I edited into the Suicide King series. But this is the raw footage that's been lost to the internet for the greater part of 12 years. So now it's going to go live as a playlist on DSP Throwback. So you'll be able to alternate between Vice City parts and cool open world co-op parts of Red Dead Free Roam. Pretty neat stuff. So, hope that you guys will enjoy this content now coming out over the course of this next week on DSP Throwback. Okay. Oh, one more thing, and just how crazy is this? It actually literally is the 12. What just happened to my webcam? My webcam just froze. What is going on? Look at this. My webcam froze. What is happening today? Why did my webcam freeze? I don't know what's going on. The webcam was working and now it froze. And I have no idea why. Well, I guess we're going to have to pause the show and try to figure out what just happened. Yeah, weird, because the webcam was working and then the light, it just shut off, actually. The webcam is completely shut down, and I don't know why. It made the unplugging sound? What the hell? All right, hold on. Let me stop recording. All right, I have no idea what's going on with this webcam. It was working fine for the last week. All of a sudden now, it gave me problems. It actually just turned off. And I was like, I unplugged it, replugged it, and now it seems to be working again, but I don't know why that happened. The thing is, it does have gestures, but I just disabled them. Like in the software, there's a thing to check gestures or not, and I turned off the gestures. So it should not be doing anything with gestures. I don't know why it would do that at all. Faulty USB port? Well, doubtful, because it's the same USB port I always used for my webcams previously and never had an issue. So, I'm not sure. Really? Okay. Enemy Warlock says it happens all the time to that webcam. I have one at the radio station. They use it for guests. Seems like they lose it at least twice a week. They end up having to reboot OBS or the PC to get it back up. So it's just the webcam is wonky. Well, I know what to do now. All I got to do is unplug, replug, and then refresh all the software, and then it worked. So it's not a huge deal or anything, but it was annoying that it happened. Okay. Anyway, am I centered now? Because now the camera moved all around stupidly. I think I'm centered, though. Okay. All right, let's continue. So, Grand Theft Auto Vice City starts tomorrow, and then it's going to alternate with the Red Dead 1 free roam stuff. I hope you'll check all that out over on DSP Throwback over the course of this coming week. 2 new playthroughs beginning there, okay? All right, I got through all of that. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Phil's day off this week, not very eventful. It was a very hot day. We have a giant heat wave here this week where it's anywhere from 85 to 92 degrees every day. I have the air conditioners in my house pumping at max to keep it cool again. It was very uncomfortable, and I essentially was suffering with sweating and everything, trying to run around doing chores, or not chores, but errands. Also, so this is what I got to tell you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, this week is an incredibly long streaming week for me. Are you ready for this? This week, I am streaming today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and that's it. I'm streaming 7 straight days in a row this week. Friday of next week is my next day off. Yeah. It's a crazy busy week. Because of that, I had to get like way more groceries and everything. So it was a very expensive trip this week for me. But the week after that, I actually don't know if we're going to be doing, I don't know if we're going to be doing like another 6-day, 7-day week or not. Because again, this is all depending on my wife's schedule, and her schedule just seems to be all over the place now. It's just not consistent. So never knowing when she's going to work or whatever is affecting everything, and that it just kind of sucks. What can you do, right? So, you know, I'm here for 7 straight days. All right? 7 straight freaking days. What else? Oh. So here's what we'll do. Let's briefly go through the schedule. All right? But the thing is, a lot of things are tentative. So let's go through it. Today, Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. We're going to do more fun challenge runs in this game. I have to see how I did with last week's special challenge where you did 3 in a row, or was it 4 in a row? And you get to see how you ranked against everyone else in the world who owns the game and tried it. I'm curious how I did because I had 4 S ranks. And then there's a new one to do. So we'll do that. We'll continue to do this, the challenges, the speed runs, and maybe do some of the ones where you compete against other people too. There's a problem though. There's just no solution for having a good controller for this thing besides the Joycons, but I don't have the Joycons ready to go. My Switch actually has Hori gamepad things attached to it, not the Joycons. I literally don't know where the Joycons are. They haven't been attached to my Switch in about 5 years. So I don't know where they are to even attach them and charge them. Yeah. So it seems like I'm just going to have to use the Hori pad that I have that I was using last time with it. It's the best I can do. It's definitely better than the D-pad that's on the Pro Controller. But, yeah, I don't know where the Joy-Cons are to even plug them in and charge them. And I looked online. I was like, oh, is there like an NES controller you can get for the Switch? Oh, yeah, there is. It's $100. Because Nintendo, in all their idiotic, mouth-drooling glory, thought it would be a good idea to sell it as a limited edition, timed-only collectible when the NES online service turned on. And so everyone rushed to get them as collector's items, and now they're worth $100 or more, and you can't get one anywhere else. I've seen other ones, and they're like maybe 50, 60 bucks, and those are knockoffs. And I'm like, dude, I'm not dropping $50, $60 for an NES-style controller for this thing. It's just dumb. So I'm stuck with what I've got. I'm not going to spend a ton of money on a controller. It should literally be 20 bucks. It should be $20 to get an NES controller for your Switch, but because Nintendo is a bunch of fucking morons who want to have everything be limited edition, it's $100+ to get it. Yeah, moronic. Okay, so it is what it is. What can I do? I'm just gonna play with the Hori pad and deal with it today. Okay, but it should be fun. If you ever seen me do challenge runs in games before, this is pretty fun to see me give it a shot. And by the way, today, we will do the polls. We will do the polls. It'll be like, do you think I could beat it in 5 tries or whatever? People will vote and stuff like that. Okay, so we will do that level of interactivity. In fact, you guys will be able to vote too. Like, what game do you want to see me do the next challenge run in and stuff like that. Okay, so we're going to use the polls in the chat a lot today. A lot of interactivity. Tonight on the late stream, it's Friday Night Fights at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Time. It will be Street Fighter 6, and it will be the return of M. Bison. I now have not played the character in 2 weeks. I need to get back into the swing of things, which means, yes, casual play. Will I actually do online play? I don't know. Okay? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so that's tonight. Tomorrow, daytime stream will be my final Marvel Rivals closed beta stream. And hopefully, we'll be able to play with the final characters I haven't tried yet. Okay? So that'll be interesting. And then tomorrow night will be Stardew Valley Chill. Sunday all day long is going to be, excuse me. Sunday will be React Day. So it'll be DSP versus the internet on DSP Reacts on the day stream. And it will be the final stream of Mario and Sonic at the 2012 London Olympics on the late stream. It'll be great because the real Olympics are going to end soon. So it's good to be doing these coinciding with the real Olympics. Then Monday, we'll probably swing back and do some Street Fighter as the daytime stream. And then Monday night is a little up in the air, but I was thinking I want to do some SVC Chaos at some point. I want to bring that back. We only did it once a couple weeks ago. And it is a very silly game, but it's silly fun. And I was having a good time with it last time. So I think I want to bring that back into the rotation. Okay, now here's the thing. I'm still here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I have a very long streaming week this week, okay? Possibility that since we've wrapped up a few playthroughs, and since Marvel Rivals now is going to be out of the rotation, we may need something new for the next couple of weeks to get us to the 20th, in which case that is the release of Black Myth Wukong. What will it be? I don't know. I don't want to do anything lengthy. It has to be something on the shorter side. So perhaps we'll start talking about this. Like, what kind of game would you guys like to see in the rotation that maybe isn't a very long game, but could be an entertaining, quick one? I would love something like that, but we have to figure that out over the next few days, right? Now, also, normally this time of month, I would say, oh, it's patron time, but I only have I have 2 people who I'm making private videos for on my Patreon, one of which they want me to do something later in the month because they have an event going on that they want me to cover as part of the React, and it doesn't even happen until later in the month, so obviously I can't do the React right away. So really, there shouldn't be any issue with private React stuff till like much later in the month. So it won't affect anything this week at the least, okay? So here's the thing. There is a strong possibility. Now, I'm just going to say this. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. Okay? But here's the deal of what's going on right now. As you know, there is a documentary on Review Tech USA that is going to go live in the coming weeks, the next 1 to 2 weeks, okay? I have a hunch that it's going to go live not this weekend, but probably the second weekend of August. Okay? A hunch. I don't have a guarantee. I have a hunch. That's all I'm going to say. All right? I want to react to the Review Tech USA documentary. That's going to be a big thing. It's an hour long, but you know me. When I react to these things, it usually takes 2-3 hours. So it's going to be a lengthy react to this. I need to make time in my schedule for this. Okay? Well, there has been strong interest in seeing a crossover event between myself and the Kino Casino guys over on Kick. All right? Now listen, before we get into it, I'm well aware that these guys have been very critical of me. They've insulted me and my wife. They have done this kind of stuff. They've also done it to a million other people too. And I've actually had some positive interactions with these guys over the last couple of weeks. And we've had some conversations back and forth. We basically have a understanding, all right, that we kind of want to maybe even do this together, all right, like a co-op commentary on the Review Tech documentary, all right, and we're trying to work out the logistics of that, like how would it work, who would appear on whose channel, etc., all right, and we're working that out right now. But the only way that we can actually get this to work would be to do a test. We can't just do it the day of. We have to test it first so we have it working. So when this thing, the documentary actually drops, we could be like, okay, here we go. We're ready to go. Right? So, in the next week, there is a very strong possibility that one night I'm going to appear on the Kino Casino show over on Kick. I will not even broadcast it on my end. It will just be, I'll just be a guest on their show for a couple of hours during what would have normally been my late night stream slot. I'll just be over there on their show for a couple of hours to test the waters, to see how it goes. All right. Technically and everything, but also let's see, you know, how does it work? All right. And if it works fine, then cool. We'll do the co-op commentary on the Rich thing. If it doesn't work and I don't feel like it's a good fit, or if we have issues or whatever, then we won't do it. But I feel like this makes sense to give it a shot and give it a try and see how it works, all right? It's only one night stream. It's not like I'm sacrificing an entire day or anything for this. It would be one night stream this week that I would be on their show. Now, I'm currently waiting to hear from them on their broadcast schedule for next week to see which night would make more sense, and then the logistics of when I'd be available. I would join them for a couple hours as a guest. I probably wouldn't be there for the whole show, but for a chunk of it or whatever, okay? Now, we'll see how, again, it's a test. We'll see how it goes. All right? So that's coming in the next week. So one of these night streams, probably Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't know. Well, not Friday. I'm not here Friday. But one of those night streams, likely when they're broadcasting, I'm going to join their stream and just see how it goes together and go from there. Okay? Fair enough? All right. So again, I'm not over-promising and under-delivering here. It's a possibility. We got to work out the logistics. I think it eventually would work. If we could get the technical stuff working and see if, you know, with their audience, how it works and everything. But it could be a good time. We're going to find out together and go from there. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I don't ever have to do it again, right? But at least it's a shot of doing something, right? Like I said, I've now watched their show twice, and each time I was in the chat, they were incredibly nice. Their audience has been great, coming over, watching my stuff, checking it out, and even supporting it. And I'm like, well, that's nice of them. So give it a shot. And if it doesn't, again, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's okay. All right? So if we try it and it works, then we will have the kinks worked out, and we'll be able to figure out how to make that work for the Review Tech React coming up in that next week. Like I said, I have a hunch it's going to be probably not this weekend, but next weekend that Review Tech documentary will drop on June the King's channel, and therefore, if it does, we'll be ready to go. We won't be scrambling. It'll just be ready to go. Okay, it's live. Let's get set up. Let's do this, guys, right? Fair enough? And listen, I totally understand. There's so many people who are in the chat right now, and they're like, we don't think this is going to work. We're apprehensive. You're not the only ones. I'm not jumping into this thing full face forward. I'm not. All right? I'm not. And I'm skeptical too. I've been treated pretty poorly by the vast majority of people on the internet over the year, right? I really have. And because of that, it's hard to have trust that people aren't going to turn it into something toxic and messed up towards me and my audience. But I'm going to give it a try. And it's not going to be me fully committing to anything. It's me testing the waters, right? And going from there. So let's see what happens, all right? Sometimes you got to dip your toe into the water and see what the temperature is. All right? Fair enough? Okay. All right. So there you go. And by the way, I'm sure these guys are going to be watching this back, and also they're going to be seeing tons of people in my chat are saying they've been incredibly mean, not only to you, but your wife as well. Is that acceptable? No, of course it's not acceptable. Do you not think that that's something that I would have issue with? First of all, do you really think that's something they're going to do when I'm on the show? Of course not, right? And they know now that anything that they say, I'm going to get wind of it. Like, they know that, right? So, obviously, we're going to see what happens, right? There's one thing when they were treating me as kind of like this outsider, but now the fact that we've had a couple nights of good conversation on their show, me in the chat or whatever, and we're having some behind-the-scenes conversations, we have some mutual interests and stuff we want to cover, you know, attitudes can change. I didn't know anything about these guys until like a week ago. So this is all new to me too, right? So there you go. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. You want to insult me, go for it. Call me whatever the hell you want. Say whatever you want about me. I don't think you should be bringing my wife into it. She has nothing to do with any of this. You know what I mean? Nothing. So, okay. Excuse me. All right, so that's also coming up this week. So we've got Nintendo World Championships, Street Fighter 6, the final Marvel Rivals content, more Stardew Valley Chill, React content. We've got the return of SVC Chaos to the mix, and I'm likely going to be appearing on Kino Casino over the next week, but allow me to solidify that with them so I know what night that's happening so you guys are aware of it, okay? And then we'll go from there. I'm streaming 7 straight days, including today, so there's going to be lots more content coming up, okay? Cool? By the way, am I 60 frames right now or not? I can't tell. I look like I might be 30 frames. And if that's the case, that means the camera, when it rebooted, didn't save the settings correctly. Do I look like I'm 60 frames or just 30 frames? My preview looks 30, but that could just be my preview. No one's saying anything about the camera. Great. Everyone's ignoring me. See here. No, Julio, I'm actually asking. I'm not asking the stream. I'm asking my camera about my camera, if it looks 60 frames or not. I do have streamer mode enabled, and that means it should be 60 frames. So hopefully it's showing up as 60. Okay. All right, because it doesn't look 60 on my preview, but it could be my preview's getting choppy right now for some reason, which happens. So I don't know what's going on. I hope this camera keeps working. I don't know what's going on, guys. It was working beautifully, and now all of a sudden I have issues this morning. You tell me what's going on, because it doesn't look 60 for. Oh, now it looks 60 again. See, it's my preview. Whatever. All right, so that's the week. Now we have a bunch of news. There's no time for it. Okay. We have no time for it. Tomorrow, I'll have a bunch of news stories to cover, including the closing of Game Informer magazine after 33 years, the new Until Dawn movie and its casting, Nintendo sales plummeting, and more. But now I'm out of time. We've gone too late. All right? So tomorrow, we will reconvene with actual gaming news to talk about. Fair enough? Okay. Shoutouts. We start off with Albert Wesker, who did a $5 super chat. It says, I'm a Kino Casino fan. I'm excited to watch you work with them. Welcome to the casino. There you go. Excuse me. Lester did a super chat and says, Phil, do you like Frank, Pepe, Sally's, or Modern? I've never had any of those. I think you're talking about the different pizzas in Connecticut. I take that back. I've had Pepe's Pizza. It was very good, actually, when I had it. I still remember to this day the big chunks of tomato, the very big smokiness and char on the pizza itself. It was very delicious, the Pepe's pizza. But I've never had Frank's, Sally's, or Modern, so I don't know. Okay. Then Lester did another super chat. Said, I'm very excited you're going on the casino. Well, again, it's a test, right? It's a test to see how things go. Hopefully it works out, and we go from there. You gotta understand, you know, yeah, it's risky, and I'm apprehensive about it because I have been treated like crap by a lot of people over the years. So it's kind of hard to trust, you know. I was absolutely assured by the side scrollers that as long as I did the interview that they wanted, that then that would clear the air and I'd be able to be a guest on their show, which was supposed to be the whole point of me doing it. And then immediately after the interview, they stopped talking to me. They say they don't want to have any evidence of my innocence. They don't care anymore. And they basically don't trust me. They got what they wanted out of it, and that was that. Then all of a sudden, when they realized that their popularity was waning again, they started contacting me. Oh, will you be on our show? Will you play Street Fighter with us? Will you do this and that? No. No, stupid. You already used me. I'm not going to waste my time with you. Right? So, yeah, I am apprehensive about it. About trusting other people. You know? But we'll see what happens. Okay? All right. On the tip side of stuff, going to the $1.50, it's Debo. Oh, boy. Debo says, if you claim to dislike Darkseidful, but you watch his content while slandering him and hiding behind a Kermit the Frog profile picture, check yourself into the nearest hospital for a psychiatric evaluation. That was a very specific reference, Debo. Seriously. That was a very serious, specific reference. So I wonder if you have someone in mind who you might be referencing in that one. I'm not sure. But it's probably likely, right? Okay. And I received a $1 tip. Oh, I'm already watching my documentary. Someone says, if you're going to watch the Rich video, does that mean you're going to watch your own documentary? I'm already watching my own documentary. 100%. Here's the difference, all right? And this has to be called out. The Rich documentary is an hour long. I could do a co-op commentary with those guys, and it'll take like a stream to do, probably like 2-3 hours, and that'll be it. With my documentary, guys, is 4 hours long. Literally, it's the most in-depth documentary June the King has ever done, ever. All right? To cover that alone would take an insane amount of time. You understand? So the problem is also, from what I'm going to understand, my documentary is going to drop either in late August or early September. Guess what's going on in late August and early September? Black Myth Wukong, Concord, Visions of Mana, Star Wars Outlaws, the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 beta, the casting of Frank Stone, Quidditch Champions, Age of Mythology remake, Astro Bot, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, and Dead Rising Remastered. So, FYI, what I think I will do when my documentary drops, what I may do is this. Day stream gameplay, night stream, react to my documentary for an hour or two. Day stream gameplay, night stream, react to my documentary for an hour or two. And I might have to split it up like that, because there's no way I could just do my documentary and then get so behind on all the games that I'm supposed to be playing. As much as I know it's going to be stuff people want, they want to see me react to it, I've got to split that kind of content. It can't just be, ignore all the game releases now. You see what I'm saying? So, we'll see, because again, without having a concrete release date, it's very hard to plan around it, you see? So, no, I'm going to be reacting to it slowly but surely over time, and like I said, if we get to this stuff, one of the things that I don't think I ever want to react about, when they're going to get into fake financial shit that's been made up about me on the internet, stuff that people have fabricated about me playing mobile games and stuff, there's no point to saying anything about it. I've not only have I legally been advised by lawyers not to talk about it, but I've already been down this road. It's like I've said, It's the devil I know versus the devil I don't. Right now, the devil I know is that a ridiculous amount of people on the internet want to believe that I'm some kind of a gambling mobile game addict who spends all his time and money playing mobile games. Okay? That's what I've dealt with for the past 4 to 5 years. That's already been out there. That's the story. I'm still here. I'm still happy. I'm still have a good life, even with a bunch of people believing that nonsense. Okay? The flip side of that would be the devil I don't know. If I go out of my way to dispute what their claims, and I show you evidence to say, see, here's what's really going on. All of that evidence can literally be used just to create more problems for myself and my family and my business. And it's like, do I really want high-level possible disruptions? Because you know how crazy insane my haters are. So they will go to any lengths whatsoever to use any piece of information presented to hurt me or my family members or other people as well around the whole, gamut of what I do streaming and all of that. So does it make sense to put yourself into more risk when the risk that you already have been in is over with? Like, everyone already believes the nonsense. Let them believe it. I don't care. I still get to have the life I have, stream, have fun, and enjoy myself. And I know the truth. And, who cares? Right? Who gives a shit about the dumb shit that these idiots say? The things that they say about me are nowhere near as bad as 99% of the stuff they say about everybody else. Right? The stuff that they're saying about review tech and freaking Boogie and all this shit is way worse than stuff that I've ever done. Right? So I don't even care at this point if people believe the bullshit. Let them believe the bullshit, and I just move on with my life. As opposed to, all right, so I disprove your bullshit. Oh, by the way, I just put myself at such great risk that now I probably have to deal with years of repercussions of me presenting that information because now people used it to hurt me in other ways. So it's that simple. I don't see the point in even bringing it up and talking about it any further. So I know a chunk of my documentary will be about that. I'm going to probably not care about that and just skip it. There's no point. So all the background stuff, before YouTube, early YouTube, all the way up, I would argue, till around probably like 2019, 2020, when it's going to go heavily into the bankruptcy and all the shit that people said about me on the internet that's not true or is based on a nugget of truth and they made up a bunch of shit that's not true. I'm not even going to bother with that shit. So even though it's a 4-hour documentary, maybe I'm only going to be dealing with 2 hours of it, depending on how in-depth he covers the recent shit that people have made up. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I'm sure that there'll be timestamps on the documentary and everything too to figure this stuff out. So, but anyway, yeah. So it's going to be probably a week whenever my doc comes out of me doing new games on the day streams and reacting to the documentary at night, and then at some point cutting it off and be like, guys, that's it. I'm not going to react to this segment. I have nothing further to say on it, and then move back like for the finale of it or whatever, however he adjourns it or ends it, right? Because we don't know how it ends. So, okay. Guys, it's been a long show, and I'm ready to adjourn the show. Oh, yeah, now I'm 60 frames again. Look at this. So it's my preview. I'm ready to end the show, because number one, we got to get set up for the Nintendo World Championships, and number two, I've used the bathroom pretty bad. So I think we're going to end it now. Thank you for watching. Sorry we didn't get to news today, because I had so much other stuff to talk about. But tomorrow, we'll get back on track with less derailing topics. And I'll do a full news segment of all these stories. I actually have quite a lot to say about some of the news today. Game Informer closing. They were like the longest running game magazine ever. So, yeah, I have a lot to say about that. All right, guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for those who are going to hang in there and still watch after the show ends and stick around for Nintendo World Championships. It should be fun. And, all right, that is it. Thanks for watching Level 1 Podcast. See you tomorrow.